with the reading of the term mashkon, collateral, into the mishkan of the pasuk, and thereby establishing a reference to the two BET HaMikDAsh that had been destroyed on account of the avonotehem shel Yisrael, hinted at, as we mentioned previously, by Rashi's insertion of the two words shnei pa'amim into his commentary, there still remains the issue of terminology, that if we are dealing with shtei churbanin of the two BET HaMikDAsh, why is it that in his commentary Rashi uses the singular lemikdash shenit mashkan? More appropriate would have been to reference the BET HaMikDAsh in the plural, and the wording should have been remez leBET HaMikDAsh shenit mashkanu, to the two BET HaMikDAsh that were taken as collateral b'shnei churbanin, with the two destructions of BET HaMikDAsh number 1 and BET HaMikDAsh number 2. True, as we hinted earlier, that there is a single theme running through the collateral of the BET HaMikDAsh, but that in of itself does not justify the inaccurate terminology, the change from the plural to the singular. And therefore, in addition to the embedded hint from a thematic perspective with the use of the singular, the Rebbe argues that we could apply another rule by which Rashi abides, and that is that Rashi, retains the terminology used by the text even when he borrows from midrashic material. The very first reference to an actual sanctuary for the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes in Shmot 25. We noted earlier a disagreement as to whether the command for V'asu li Mikdash was given to Moshe while he was upon Har Sinai during the first 40 days, or as Rashi argues, ein mukdam mu'uchar b'Torah, and the command was given after the Egel and after Moshe had received the second set of Luchot. The fact is that for the creation of this sanctuary in Shmot 25 Pasuk 8, the term Mikdash is used. Of interest is the fact that when it comes to the instructions regarding the building and the erection of the very first sanctuary, the Mishkan, the Chumash uses the term Mishkan a total of 53 times. So therefore it could be argued that the terms Mikdash and Mishkan are interchangeable, and therefore when Rashi reads into the double Mishkan of Shmot 38 a reference to the two BET HaMikDAsh, but uses the singular format lemikdash shenit mashkan, he is following the rule of using text terminology of Shmot 25:8, v'asu li mikdash singular. The term Mishkan is limited to the temporary structure while the nation was in the desert and for the first 300 years after crossing the Yarden, and does not include either of the BET HaMikDAsh, and for this reason could not be used by Rashi if we are to read BET HaMikDAsh into Shmot 38:21, whereas the term Mikdash is a generic term that could be applied to the Mishkan of the desert, the Mishkan of Shiloh, BET HaMikDAsh number 1, and or BET HaMikDAsh number 2. And for this reason, the term Mikdash is used by Rashi in his commentary rather than Mishkan or BET HaMikDAsh.